What I want to do here in this video is talk about how important your credit report is in getting a home loan in Australia. So keep watching and I'm going to go through all the things you look out for and some really golden tips to help have a higher chance of getting a home loan approved. All right, the factors in making up our credit score are things like credit cards, car loans, leases, telco, like Optus or Telstra, your bills, utilities, your gas, your Origin. Paying these bills on time give you a good credit score. Having a bad credit score does affect getting a loan. So again, the key factors, your bills that you're paying now, paying them on time, good. Not paying on time, not good, and drops your credit score number. The lower the score, the harder to get a home loan in this country. Okay, some tips how to boost your credit score up. Paying your bills on time, every time. When you're late, it actually comes up as a missed payment. Now, if you're late and you're really late, like past 30 days, past 60 days, this starts having a dramatic decrease in your credit report. Again, the lower your number, the harder to get a loan. Now, I want to give you another really good tip as well. It's not just your credit report which makes a big decision in getting your loan approved. When you apply with a bank in this country, make sure you tell the bank all your assets, liabilities, and next of kin, because they have their own internal categorization for all customers. So sometimes you could have a great credit score with Equifax and so on, but you may not be telling the bank the full picture. What I mean by that, what does that even mean? Let's say you've got 50 grand saved up in multiple different banks. You might tell the banker or broker you have 50 grand. You think, I'm gonna just tell you the aggregate amount of my savings. Whereas I'm telling you right now, if that's spread across 6 institutions in 6 different bank accounts, you're better off telling the banker or broker that I've got 20 grand there and 10 grand there and 5 grand there, because it actually gives you more points with the bank when you actually apply. Make sure you tell them how much superannuation you got. If you have life insurance in your superannuation, tell them. The more assets you have in those boxes gives you more points, which gives you a higher chance of an approval with a bank. That's the free one for you. When you do a credit report, sometimes it's actually not true. There can be discrepancies. So make sure you do a credit report, and if something doesn't look right, you could be unfortunately a victim of fraud, and that has happened to my customers in the past. So if you've got all these liabilities or credit cards with institutions you've never heard of, you probably should ring up the institution where it looks like you have a facility and they could have been opened up in your name fraudulently. So you want to get that sorted out before you apply with the bank, because if you apply for a home loan with a bank and you don't know what's on your credit, it'll get knocked back. So do a credit first, and if you can see there that there's things which are not yours, call up the institutions of whom they're with and say that they are not mine, and they will look to seek to close them. What I tell customers and future property owners is to always get a credit check at least every year so you can see what your credit reporting is looking like. Now, for those who have got a home loan and aren't looking doing any further lending, probably not so important, but for those watching who really want to get into the property market now or in the near future, you want to see what your credit report looks like before you apply, because you don't want to be going through all the effort of applying, falling in love with a property, and then being knocked back because you've got a credit card which is written off with an institution that you can't even remember because it was 5 years ago. And so you want to get it fixed, because hey, our history unfortunately does stick with us, but that may not determine the person you are today. 5 years ago, you could have been a person who was a bit lax with paying your bills, you might have moved overseas and not worried about it, and now you're completely different. You save money, you're good with your bills. It's not all over for you. You can get a credit report. If you see something bad, talk to a professional like myself, and I can tell you how you rectify it. You can rectify it, can clean it. You just got to speak with the right people. So definitely get a credit report so you can see what you look like to these banks, and if you're not happy with them, you can fix it before you apply, because you don't want to get declined, which also has an effect on your credit. Okay, so let's finish off the video by saying why do we want a good credit scoring? Well, it's actually pretty simple. With good credit means you can obtain credit. If you can obtain credit, aka a mortgage, you can buy property. Buying property is why you're watching this video. You want to buy a house in this country. With bad credit rating, you can't obtain credit, aka a home loan, and you can't buy property. By having a good credit report, aka credit rating, it gives you endless opportunities to obtain debt, buy property, and help you achieve financial freedom. That's why you want to have a good credit rating. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a little bit about credit reporting today and how it affects you. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks very much and have a mad day.